Hello, kind-hearted people. Picture for a moment an ancient warrior clad in armor of beaded scales, gliding through steamy jungles and sun-scorched deserts with a forked tongue tasting every secret the wind carries. A creature whose ancestors walked beside the dinosaurs and whose bloodline has endured for over 100 million years. A living dragon fashioned by the Almighty with such precision that it thrives in rainforests, swamps, rivers, mountains, and even the blistering heart of the Australian outback. Before we slip together into the shadowy, fascinating world of the monitor lizard, please take a quick moment to tap that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another adventure into the breathtaking wonders of the living world. Your support means the world to us and keeps these stories flowing to curious hearts everywhere. Now, let us begin our journey into the realm of one of the most extraordinary reptiles ever shaped by the masterful designer. The monitor lizard belongs to a remarkable family of reptiles known as Varanidae, and within this family lives a single genus called Varanus, which contains around 80 recognized species scattered across Africa, Asia, Oceania, and the islands of the Indo-Pacific. These creatures range dramatically in size, from the tiny short-tailed monitor of Western Australia, which barely stretches 20 centimeters from nose to tail and weighs less than a small apple, all the way to the legendary Komodo Dragon of Indonesia, the undisputed giant of the lizard world, which can grow beyond 3 meters in length and tip the scales at over 70 kilograms. Between these two extremes lies a dazzling spectrum of forms, each one sculpted by the creator to fill a specific role in its environment, each one a living testament to how a single reptilian blueprint can be shaped, stretched, shrunk, and refined into countless successful designs. What makes the monitor lizard so instantly recognizable is its long, muscular body, its powerful limbs armed with curved claws, its whip-like tail, and above all, its slender, serpent-like neck that carries a narrow head with astonishing agility. Unlike most lizards, which tend to be short-necked and stubby, monitors have elongated necks that allow them to strike, reach, and peer about with an almost snake-like grace. This is no accident of form. The fashioner gave them this anatomy because monitors are active hunters, relentless explorers, and patient investigators of every crevice, burrow, and hollow log in their domain. Their skulls are lightly built, yet reinforced in all the right places. Their jaws lined with sharp, recurved teeth, and their tongues are deeply forked, flickering in and out, just like a snake's tongue to sample chemical traces in the air. That forked tongue is one of the monitor's most brilliant tools. When it slides out, it collects tiny particles from the surroundings, and when it retracts, it delivers those particles to a specialized structure on the roof of the mouth called the Jacobson's organ. This organ analyzes scents with extraordinary sensitivity, allowing the monitor to track prey, detect rivals, and navigate its territory with a precision that rivals the finest bloodhound. Imagine tasting the very breath of the forest, reading invisible trails left by a fleeing rodent or a distant carcass, and you begin to appreciate the genius of this design, a gift from the all-knowing creator, who equipped these reptiles with senses that transcend what our own eyes and noses could ever perceive. Monitor lizards are unusual among reptiles for another reason that has fascinated biologists for decades. Unlike the sluggish, sun-dependent lifestyle typical of so many of their cold-blooded cousins, monitors possess an unusually high metabolism. Their hearts are more complex than those of other lizards, featuring a partial separation within the ventricle that allows for more efficient oxygen delivery to the body. Their lungs are more developed, their stamina is greater, and they can sustain active pursuit for far longer than most reptiles. This is why you will often see a monitor trotting briskly across open ground with its head held high, looking almost mammalian in its purposeful stride. The Supreme Maker seems to have given them a hint of warm-blooded vigor, a reptilian body humming with an energy that most lizards simply cannot match. Their skin, too, is a marvel worthy of contemplation. Covered in small, bead-like scales that do not overlap, the monitor's hide is tough, flexible, and patterned in endlessly varied designs. Some species wear coats of deep forest green dotted with golden eyes. Others display bold stripes of black and yellow. Still others shimmer in rusty reds, dusty browns, or slate blues that blend perfectly with their chosen habitat. Beneath those scales lie tiny bony structures called osteoderms, little plates of bone embedded in the skin that provide an extra layer of armor against teeth, thorns, and rough terrain. It is as though the divine maker dressed each monitor in a custom suit of chainmail, light enough for speed yet strong enough to resist the daily perils of a hunter's life. The diet of a monitor lizard is almost as varied as the species themselves. Smaller monitors feast on insects, spiders, small lizards, and the occasional small bird or mammal. Medium-sized species tackle fish, frogs, crabs, snakes, and eggs, often raiding the nests of turtles, crocodiles, and birds with remarkable cunning. The largest monitors, particularly the Komodo dragon and the water monitor, can bring down deer, wild pigs, and water buffalo, or scavenge enormous carcasses in the company of their fellows. What unites them all is their curiosity and intelligence, for a monitor does not simply stumble upon food. It investigates, remembers, learns, and even appears to plan. Zookeepers and field researchers have long marveled at the problem-solving abilities of these reptiles, watching them work out how to open latches, count treats, and recognize individual humans, a level of cleverness that astonishes anyone expecting the blank stare of a typical lizard. Perhaps the most talked-about monitor of all is the Komodo dragon, the titan of Indonesia, which lives on a handful of rugged islands including Komodo, Rinca, Flores, and a few smaller neighbors. This creature is not merely large. It is a living echo of prehistory. A lumbering predator whose mouth contains a cocktail of harmful bacteria, and, as more recent investigations have confirmed, venom glands that deliver compounds capable of lowering the blood pressure of its prey, preventing clotting, and inducing shock. A single bite from a Komodo dragon may not kill instantly, but the victim weakens over hours or days, and the patient dragon follows, tracking its meal with that incredible tongue until the prey collapses. It is a hunting strategy of breathtaking efficiency, a design so clever it could only have come from the all-wise creator who shaped this island giant for the harsh, competitive world in which it rules. Yet, not all monitors are terrestrial giants. The water monitor, found across South and Southeast Asia, is a superb swimmer that glides through rivers, mangroves, and coastal marshes with serpentine ease, using its powerful, laterally flattened tail as an oar. It can remain submerged for extended periods, ambush fish, and even swim across open sea channels between islands. Tree monitors, on the other hand, live their entire lives in the rainforest canopy, their slender bodies, prehensile tails, and gripping claws, perfectly crafted for a life among branches. Desert monitors endure scorching sands and freezing nights, retreating into deep burrows where the temperature remains stable. Each habitat has shaped its own specialist, and in each one the fingerprints of the originator are unmistakable. Monitor lizards are largely solitary, meeting others of their kind mostly to compete over food or territory. When two males clash, they rise up on their hind legs and wrestle in a posture almost resembling a human embrace, pushing, grappling, and testing one another's strength until the weaker concedes and retreats. These contests are usually ritualized rather than deadly, a reminder that even in the rawest corners of the animal kingdom, there is order, pattern, and restraint woven in by divine providence. Outside of such encounters, monitors are patient loners, ranging widely over territories that may span many kilometers, patrolling them with tireless curiosity. Their role in the ecosystems they inhabit is absolutely vital. By consuming carrion, monitor lizards help clean the forest floor and the riverbanks, preventing the spread of disease and recycling nutrients back into the soil. By preying on rodents, insects, and smaller reptiles, they keep populations in balance, protecting plant life and the countless smaller creatures that depend on it. In some regions, they also control populations of invasive species, stepping in as unsung guardians of ecological harmony. The ultimate creator placed them in these landscapes not as afterthoughts, but as essential threads in the great living tapestry, each species tuned to its role with astonishing precision. Monitors are also remarkable communicators in their own quiet way. They hiss loudly when threatened, puff up their bodies to appear larger, and lash their tails like muscular whips capable of inflicting painful blows. Their vision is sharp, especially for detecting movement at a distance. And some species are believed to possess a limited capacity to distinguish colors, helping them recognize ripe fruit, rival males, and potential prey. Their hearing, while not as keen as that of mammals, is sensitive enough to pick up the rustle of a lizard in the leaf litter or the distant scuffle of a mouse in a burrow. Every sense they possess has been fine-tuned, every capability polished, as though the fashioner took particular delight in crafting a reptile that is equally at home stalking, swimming, climbing, and thinking. One of the most humbling truths about monitor lizards is the sheer length of their evolutionary heritage. Their lineage stretches back deep into the age of dinosaurs, and the anatomical blueprint that works so well today has been refined over tens of millions of years. When you watch a monitor flicking its tongue beside a jungle stream or basking on a sun-warmed rock, you are watching the present chapter of an ancient, unbroken story, a story authored from the very beginning by the Creator, who set the rhythms of life on Earth and sustained them through epochs of upheaval and change. Few living animals connect us so vividly to that deep past. Sadly, many monitor species today face serious threats from habitat loss, illegal hunting for their skins, and capture for the exotic pet trade. Forests are cleared, wetlands drained, and coastlines developed, squeezing these magnificent reptiles into ever smaller pockets of wilderness. Conservation efforts are underway in many countries, with protected reserves, legal safeguards, and public awareness campaigns working to secure a future for monitors both large and small. Every one of us can contribute simply by caring, by learning, and by sharing their story, so that these living dragons continue to grace our planet for generations to come, a responsibility entrusted to us by the Almighty who placed them in our shared home. Thank you so much for journeying with me today into the extraordinary world of the monitor lizard. If you enjoyed this exploration, please leave a like to support the channel, subscribe so you never miss another adventure, and drop a comment below telling me which monitor species fascinates you the most. Until next time, keep marveling at creation and take care.